Star Trek, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, Eric Bana, and Leonard Nimoy. Now, the story is. I'm not going to say anything yet. Now, the story is pretty much. It is a. Some people call it a prequel. It's more of a reimagining it a little bit, except they have all the key components. Like, they have the old Spock in here, okay? I'll just say that right now. They have old Spock. He's in here, obviously. Leonard Nimoy plays him again, just like he did in about all the other 500 episodes and 3,000 movies. Sorry. Uh, Yep, so he's there, and the reason he's there is, let me tell you a story. The story is about, it starts off pretty much with Kirk's father being killed right when he's born. Right when he's born, about a minute later, he dies. Before he dies, though, his captain, he was murdered, so he was officially captain for 12 minutes. And in that 12 minutes, he saved 800 lives. Now, this is pretty much where it starts off. It starts off by pretty much a bar fight. I'll say that. Well, it starts off with the car scene when he's younger. He steals the car, and then then it goes to the bar fight, which everybody's talking about. It's actually kind of funny too. Uh, so that's where it takes off. The story is Nero, who is played by Eric Bana. If you don't know who Eric Bana is, he was in The Utter Boleyn Girl, and he was also in the first Hulk movie, who I thought did a pretty good job as the Hulk, and he did a really good job here as obviously he's no Khan. That's actually one of the only Star Trek movies I saw, and that's kind of a movie you need to see, even if you're not a Star Trek fan. Just like this, I'm not a Star Trek fan. I like that movie a lot, Rifle Khan. But I saw this anyway because it looked freaking awesome. All right, it looked beautiful. All right, J.J. Abrams, he does great all the time. I'm sorry, I think he does. MI3, people say, isn't that good? I love that movie. Okay, go screw yourself. All right, so yeah, when he picked Chris Pine though as a Kirk, I was like, I don't know. I saw him in Just My Luck. That movie sucked, and he wasn't bad in it. He was just, he was just a typical uh, male guy in a Lindsay Lohan movie. Sorry, it makes me sick. I know who killed me. That movie just makes. Anyway, this is Star Trek. Now, all right, let me cut the bullshit. All right, I told you about the story a little bit. It's about Nero. Now, I didn't finish it, obviously. I just cut myself right off. It's about Nero, and he wants revenge on the only Falcon that, well, I guess has you know, the only one that is the reason for his whole world being blown up. Now, the reason he's really mad is because his wife was having a child, and now he's pretty much pissed. All right, he's pissed. Okay, so I could see why he's pissed, but later in the movie, all right, I hope all right, I'll put spoilers in the description, but he blows up the planet of Spock's, and now, you know what? Maybe it'll be better if I actually read you the plot. I'm just trying to say what I remember. So yeah, it's Nero getting revenge on Spock, even though Spock really didn't do anything, and he gets revenge on Spock by blowing his planet up. And well, that's pretty much where it really goes. Spock wants really to catch this guy now. Uh, of course, Kirk just wants to catch him because well, he pretty much killed his father. So he doesn't actually know that until later. I think I'm not. Yeah, he doesn't know that until a little later, until the captain actually tells him, the captain of the ship, and then he gets captured by Nero, and so that means not Kirk but Spock is the captain, uh, And yeah, that's all I'm gonna tell you. So yeah, the story goes on from there, and it's not a prequel. Okay, it kind of is a little bit, but it's an alternate reality, you could say, of Star Trek. So let me get on to what I liked. The special effects were mesmerizing. Okay, they were mesmerizing. All right, they were the best I've probably ever seen in a big screen blockbuster. To be honest, I swear they were beautiful. J.J. Abrams, you're awesome. Okay, I know you didn't make the visual effects though, but you're still awesome because every movie you're in, I mean every movie you make has great visual effects. Well, not in, you know what I mean. He either directs or produces. Cloverfield had great special effects for a $25 million budget. Hello, that's great for what how much it cost to actually make the movie. Uh, MI3, of course, there's shit blowing up everywhere in that movie, and it looked great. So yeah, this movie's no exception, except it's actually better. So I guess there is kind of an exception. This movie's better. It's Star Trek. I hope it makes almost Dark Knight money because this movie's almost as good as Dark Knight, just by the skin of its nuts. Just by it. Just yeah, because I have one problem with it. The one problem I have with it. All right, there is a part in the movie I did not like one bit, and it's only because it kept messing with me. I don't know why. It just kept messing with me every time I thought of this part. What the fuck was it though? See, I'm forgetting. It was a part I kept getting. This is not working. Not really. Uh, well, I didn't. Fuck. What was it? I know it wasn't the one he screwed the green bitch. I mean, that was awesome. He screws green bitches, just like I heard in the show. He screwed a couple of blue and green bitches. That's awesome. I can't forget the. Well, obviously, it's not a bad part at all. If I have to, oh, I remember Tyler Perry. There we go. I was trying to think and Medea popped up in my brain. Tyler Perry. Now he was good in the movie, but ever since Medea, I can't get the picture of Medea out of my head. Okay, he's in there. He's like the I think he's the leader of Starfleet. Oh my God, but he did good. He did really good, but jeez, and a little bit got boring sometimes. Sometimes, just like okay, this is how it is. Like, oh my God, that was so good. Okay, it's boring. Oh my God, it's so like it gets boring for about 2 seconds. The people I liked in this, Simon Pegg, of course, he always does great in everything. Of course, Chris Pine does excellent. I think he does better than William Shatner, at least in the movie I saw him in, the second Wrath of Khan. Uh, Zachary Quinto, he's from Heroes. Never really watched Heroes, but he did really good in this as Spock because I know how Spock acts, and he definitely didn't really act like Spock. Maybe when he was younger, but there's some things that really reminds me of him of Spock, and even Spock himself says. I mean, even Spock himself is in the movie. Leonard Nimoy, I said before. Uh, not Zachary, John Chow as Sulu. He was badass. John Chow as Sulu. No one talks about, but he's badass. And I heard he was barely in the Star Trek TV show. Um, Anton Yelchin plays now I'm forgetting his name. But he's like the Russian guy, and he's actually really funny. Uh, he's supposed to be kind of like the comic relief. Uh, Besides Simon Pegg as Scotty, he's awesome. And of course Zoe Saldana as fuck, I forgot her name now. Jeez, I can't forget this. What's her name again in the movie? See, I forget a lot, okay? Alright, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? What's her name? 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 No yet? Oh, Uhura, that's right. Uh, so this is gonna end in a second. So I'm sorry for not the in-depth review. You know what? I'll make a part two. This is part one. I'm going to talk about this movie in part two, so check you there. This is part one, so check out part two of my Star Trek review. I'm going to talk about it more.